She thought I was a loser and mocked me, thinking I didn't notice it. But life knows how to surprise, and one day everything turned upside down. This is a story about betrayal, pain, and sweet revenge. Have you ever felt that crushing moment when the person you trust most in the world reveals they see you as nothing? When your deepest dreams become their private joke? I lived that nightmare every single day. Sarah and I had been together for almost 7 years. I loved her with the kind of love that poets write about, pure, unconditional, all-consuming. She was my anchor, my safe harbor, the person I shared every wild dream and ambitious plan with. Or so I thought. That Tuesday evening started like any other. I came home from another exhausting day at my regular job, the one that barely paid our bills while I secretly worked on my projects late into night. I was heading to the kitchen when I heard her voice drifting through the half-open door. "Oh, honey, you should see him with his little projects. He actually thinks he's going to become a millionaire." I froze. My hand stopped mid-reach for the door handle. I mean, seriously, he can't even earn a decent salary at his day job, and here he is, dreaming about being the next big entrepreneur. Then came the laughter. Her laughter, mixed with her friends, loud, genuine, cutting through my heart like broken glass. They were laughing at me, at everything I had confided in her during our most intimate moments. I stood there in the hallway, invisible and broken, listening to the woman I planned to marry mock the very core of who I was trying to become. I didn't storm into that kitchen. I didn't scream or throw things or demand explanations. Instead, I quietly walked to our bedroom, sat on the edge of the bed we shared, and stared at my reflection in the mirror across from me. The man looking back wasn't the successful entrepreneur I dreamed of becoming. He was tired, discouraged, and apparently laughable. But in that moment of crushing humiliation, something shifted inside me. It wasn't anger, it was something much more powerful. It was clarity. I realized I had been seeking validation from someone who would never truly believe in me. I had been trying to build dreams while carrying the weight of someone else's doubt on my shoulders. That night, after she fell asleep beside me, I made a decision that would change everything. I wouldn't confront her. I wouldn't argue or try to convince her. I would simply prove her wrong. Not to her, but to myself. The next morning, I kissed her goodbye like always, went to work like always, but everything inside me had fundamentally changed. I had become a man with a secret mission. What followed were the most grueling, lonely, and transformative 2 years of my life. I became obsessed, not with revenge, but with becoming the person I knew I could be. Every spare moment was invested in learning, building, failing, and trying again. While she watched Netflix in the evenings, I was in our tiny spare room, hunched over my laptop, coding, researching, networking with people online who shared my ambitions. My social life disappeared completely. Friends stopped inviting me places because they knew I'd decline. I stopped buying new clothes, stopped going to restaurants, stopped living what most people would call a normal life. Every dollar I could spare went into my projects. She never asked about my long nights or my withdrawn behavior. Perhaps she attributed it to my phase of playing entrepreneur. During dinner parties with friends, I would catch her rolling her eyes when someone asked about my work. "Oh, you know him and his big dreams," she'd say with that same dismissive laugh I'd heard through the kitchen door. Each time, I'd smile politely and change the subject. But inside, that flame of determination burned brighter. I was losing weight from stress and lack of sleep. I was becoming someone I barely recognized, focused, driven, almost mechanical in my pursuit of success. But I was also becoming stronger, more resilient, more certain of my path than I'd ever been. Then, on a rainy Thursday morning in March, everything changed. The email arrived at 6:47 a.m. A venture capital firm wanted to acquire my latest project, a software solution I'd been developing for over 18 months. The number at the bottom of their offer had 6 zeros after it. I sat in my car outside my office building, reading the email over and over again, waiting to feel something. Joy, vindication, victory? Instead, I felt empty, quiet, like standing in a house after everyone else has left. The acquisition went through faster than I'd imagined. Suddenly, I was the millionaire she'd laughed about. The dreamer who couldn't even earn a decent salary was featured in local business publications. My phone buzzed constantly with interview requests and congratulations from colleagues. But the woman sleeping next to me each night remained oblivious to it all. I hadn't told her. I wasn't ready to. 1 week after the money hit my account, I filed for divorce. No dramatic confrontation, no tears, no explanations. Just quiet, methodical paperwork, and a signature that ended 7 years of my life. She was confused, hurt, angry, cycling through emotions I watched from what felt like a great distance. When she demanded to know why, I simply said, "We want different things." A month later, when the local news covered my company's success story, my phone lit up with a text from her. "Hey, I saw the news. I had no idea. Can we talk? I miss what we had." I read it twice, then set my phone down and walked out onto the balcony of my new apartment. The city stretched out below me, full of possibilities and dreams yet to be realized. I never replied to that message. The lesson: sometimes the greatest revenge is silence. Not proving them wrong, but proving to yourself that you never needed their belief to succeed. Success tastes sweeter when it's built on your own faith, not borrowed from someone else's doubt. Some bridges are meant to be burned quietly, without ceremony, so you can finally see the path that was always yours to walk alone. Thank you for watching to the end. If this story has struck a chord with you, please like and subscribe. There will be many more frank and powerful stories ahead.